Moonset at 6:48 p.m. and will rise again tomorrow morning at 5:23 a.m. We are approaching high tide at 7 a.m. this morning. Tide will be low at 1 p.m. this afternoon.
The following is a preamble of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Whereas 481 years ago, the rediscovery of this family of islands, rocks and keys, heralded the rebirth of the New World. And whereas the people of this family of islands, recognizing that the preservation of their freedom will be guaranteed by a national commitment to self-discipline, industry, loyalty, unity, and an abiding respect for Christian values and the rule of law. Now, know ye therefore, we the inheritors of, and successors to this family of islands, recognizing the supremacy of God and believing in the fundamental rights and freedoms of the individual, do hereby proclaim in solemn praise the establishment of a free and democratic sovereign nation, founded on spiritual values, and in which no man, woman, or child shall ever be slave or bondsman to anyone, or their labor exploited, or their lives frustrated by deprivation, and do hereby provide by these articles for the indivisible unity and creation under God of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
It's Tuesday, July 26, 2022, and the morning edition is alive. On today's show, the Children's Emergency Hostel appealing for help. We have a performing arts specialist and national honorary live in studio. And back to school activities underway. So let's start the morning off right.
The Morning Edition is brought to you by We Buy You Sell Company, your leading hurricane impact windows, doors, and tile specialist.
Every day is a new beginning. Take a deep breath, smile, and start again. It makes you feel much better. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the morning edition here on a Tuesday morning. We're all ready and get up for another exciting show. Good way to start your day off right. And starting your day off right, we're going to give you a special trivia question this morning, all courtesy of Janae's Uniform Center. But this week, we'll be featuring the Children's Emergency Hostel, all geared to them. Yes, go out there and donate. They are looking for some funds, so stay tuned to that story coming up later on in the morning edition. But let's bring this question up on the screen. In which year was the Children's Emergency Hostel open? The number to dial, 502-3855, 502-3855. In which year was the Children's Emergency Hostel open? And you can win this nice gift certificate, all courtesy of Janae's Uniform Center. Like I say, it's time to get back to school. Guess what? July is almost over, and August is here. Start to get those kids all ready for school, and that's what we want you to do with the Children's Emergency Hostel. Coming up later on in the show. It's raining outside of our studio, so we're going to delay our traffic a bit. Are they ready? They're not. That's the weather on the outside of our studio, so our traffic report is not going to come up right now. So we're going to let you know just what's happening weather-wise. As you can see, the streets are already wet. 81 degrees. We are waking up to mostly cloudy. Winds east at 8 miles per hour. Humidity is 83%. Now looking ahead to what's happening with the weather-wise. A surface trough along with convergence is creating unsettled weather across the Bahamas, while high pressure is supporting moderate to strong winds and moderate to rough seas across the islands. For all areas, weather variably cloudy, hot and windy with widely scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Your daytime high temperature today reaching 90 degrees Fahrenheit, overnight low of 77. And you can see once again from our tower cam as well, it is raining on the outside, so if you're heading out, make sure to bring those umbrellas to keep you dry today. On Wednesday, partly sunny and breezy, 89 in the day, 80 at night, and then on Thursday, expect some rain to come in here once again. A thunderstorm happening in the afternoon, 88 in the day, 78 at night.
A third Bahamian man has been arrested in connection with that alleged human smuggling operation in which 17 Haitian migrants lost their lives at sea. Police say the man was apprehended at a home in central New Providence shortly after 9 p.m. on Sunday. 2 other Bahamian men have also been arrested in connection with that incident. Minister of National Security, the Honorable Wayne Munro, is noting the government's zero-tolerance policy for lawbreakers.
I have every expectation that if it is found that 2 persons recovered, the captains of these vessels, that they will be charged with the appropriate human smuggling offenses. And to my mind, we also have to consider a homicide charge for them, because it's one thing to smuggle people, and you can smuggle people safely or unsafely. And so, for instance, I can take a 40-foot boat and smuggle 2 people to the U.S., and that's illegal, that's human smuggling. Or you could have an event like this, an overcrowded boat, no flotation devices. That is actually dangerous.
Meanwhile, search and rescue efforts have moved to recovery mode after no survivors were found from that boating tragedy. With the help of maritime resources and drones, Defense Force officers are hoping to uncover any clues to retrieve those boating victims. Commander William Stirrup is the search and rescue coordinator for the Defense Force.
This effort consisted of surface search, submersible search by our drones, our submersible drones, also aerial searches by our own Royal Bahamas Defense Force Air Wing Department and the U.S. Coast Guard. As you can see, a mile north of Blackbeard Key is ocean, but we have a SAR program, computer-generated model of all the environmental factors, and once we run those numbers, the computer will tell us where to search and which area we're more likely to find persons or objects in.
Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis says Haiti's crisis remains a concern for the Bahamas and the region. This as officials press on with efforts to bring resolution to this ongoing issue.
We just had a resolution. The UN resolution was finally passed about 2 weeks ago, about a week and a half ago, so that we could continue the presence of the UN peacekeepers on the ground. The question is whether there'll be any intervention. You know, our position of CARICOM has always been that the solution has to be a Haitian solution rather than an imposed solution.
Senators debated and passed a rehabilitation of offenders bill in the upper chamber Monday. The legislation paves the way for records of those who violated the COVID-19 emergency orders to be expunged. Moving the bill, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Senator the Honorable Ryan Pinder, explains that due to the need for transparency and scrutiny of the expunging of records exercise, an affirmative parliamentary scrutiny procedure is included.
The design of the bill and the order are so to ensure that necessary checks and balances throughout the process, as the expungement of records is a significant action for any government to undertake. The bill creates the framework, Madam President. The offenses are prescribed by order, and the order having to have the affirmative approval of both houses of Parliament. This is a significant check and balance because we vote on it, Madam President. The order cannot be issued by the minister alone. It must be reviewed, analyzed, scrutinized, and affirmatively approved by both houses of Parliament.
16 New Providence residents and 2 Grand Bahamians make up the country's new COVID infections, with the location of another case still pending, for a total of 19 new infections in the country. This as 46 people are being treated for the virus in hospital, one of them in the intensive care unit. And as of July 24th, there were 415 active cases and 34 recoveries.
Good morning, Fisher, and a pleasant good morning, Bahamas. Your gloomy Tuesday morning traffic report is coming to you live from Mackey and Rosetta Street. And you couldn't see just now, but Corporal Patrick Kemp was dancing on the side of me because he's so excited. He's so excited to be here for our traffic report this morning. Like yes. How are you? Tell the world how you are.
I'm excited. You exposed me like that, right?
So here we are on a gloomy Tuesday morning, as we were talking about earlier, Kemp. Bahamian motorists like to, as the old Bahamians say, show their skin when it rains, as in, they tend to drive very poorly. So in this circumstances of driving in the rain, what are some do's and don'ts?
Well, first of all, I'm not too familiar with show the skin. My grandparents, they would have told me, show your skin off. I don't know if it's the same thing.
It's the same thing, Cap.
All right, then. But yeah, it's better there. I want to encourage the drivers to please drive with care and attention. You know, these people during this time, they tend to obviously avoid the obvious, and that is these wet streets. First of all, you want to drive within the speed limit at a safe distance behind other vehicles, just in case if they have to come to a sudden stop for any reason, you do not collide with that vehicle because you're tailing them too close. Also, I want to talk about those defective vehicles. You got to get those vehicles fixed during this rainy season. If your windshield wipers are not working properly, that's a problem. And I spoke about it some time ago about having your AC. As simple as that may sound, your air conditioner working in your vehicle can be a problem. Your windows can fog up, you cannot see, you can collide into a vehicle or into somebody's property off the road because you cannot see. So you need to get those vehicles fixed properly to be roadworthy.
All right, Kemp, we also have another issue. We live here in New Providence, and water tends to settle on the road in very big puddles, and people don't necessarily know how to navigate those, and that can become quite a hazard. So in this case, what do I do?
To be honest with you, I still have yet to know how to navigate to these potholes myself, because when it rains and the streets are flooded, these holes are all everywhere. In fact, if you travel in the area of Blue Road South, Farmers Market, it's like the holes just, one week they were not there, and the next week there are holes all over the place. It's like some work started and it was never completed. We reached out to the necessary persons responsible for that area to please assist as best as possible with having those roads completed, because it is a problem and they are contributing to the accidents in those areas. You know, no joke. A few months ago in the area of Nassau Village, Soldier Road, there was a lady in her Jeep. She dropped in a pothole. It was a lot of water. Obviously, she didn't know it was there. And I kid you not, I didn't see that lady until the next morning coming out of that same pothole. That's how deep it was, right? We gotta fix this problem, man. All right? At the end of the day, we all have to be our brother's keepers. And I want to encourage the drivers out there to be safe while you're out on the streets.
Well, Camp, I didn't see that one there listed on the traffic report. You'll have to tell me more about that later.
Yeah.
But lastly, the rain. How much does weather impact traffic accidents?
Well, it does. It does for the simple fact that, again, persons are not, they don't take advantage of the safety measures in place during this time in terms of driving with due care and attention. They increase the speed. They are not aware of persons, even during the rainy season, who are still trying to cross the street. We have persons who are pedestrians, they're still not paying attention. And you know what? Speaking of pedestrians, please be courteous to the persons out on the streets during this time. You don't want to intentionally or unintentionally wet somebody up. That's not nice. And you see the large puddle of water before you get to the person. I know our good friend here, he has a big problem with that. I believe he was a victim of being splashed on numerous occasions, he has told us. And so you want to be courteous to the pedestrians out there during this wet season.
I think we've all faced the trauma of being splashed at one time or another. So for all you motorists out there, be kind, be courteous on the street. And with that, we're going to toss you to a break. There's more Morning Edition coming up. Don't touch that remote.
What do you want from a cloud solution? You want flexibility and edge? You want to modernize applications with the ability to deliver new ones with lightning speed. You want an infrastructure that's automated, secure, cost-effective, and scalable. You want to give the end user the freedom they want with the control you need. You can't get all that from just any cloud. You need something better. You need Bahamas Cloud. Contact the experts today at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Countries across the region participating in a UK-backed training course here in the capital, staged at the Defense Force Coral Harbour Base. The course focuses on bringing greater awareness to the region's economic zones.
Suggests that as the world has become more globalised and countries have reached further in order to exploit maritime resources or to develop trade, and as criminal organisations have increased their trafficking, we've become more aware of the need to manage and indeed, and I think this is where you all come in, protect our maritime environment.
If we do not know what is happening in our waters, in our country, we cannot effectively address it. If we do not know what the standards are, we cannot effectively enforce them. Friendship means that we do not encroach on each other's property. And I'm pleased to say that we do not have any issues with any of our CARICOM partners. It is only through collaboration by these agencies that we have maximum benefit.
Well, we are now joined by Yonel Justillion. He's a performing arts specialist, former Teacher of the Year, and director of the Bahamas All-Star Band, which is the first international band to participate in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And he's also one of our honorees, Independence Honorees. Congratulations and welcome to the Morning Edition.
Thank you for having me.
All right. How do you feel about being honored this year?
Well, I think it's an honor to be part of a group of distinguished Bahamians who's awarded every year. To be part of that group means a lot, especially when you're passionate about doing what you do and you're being recognized for it.
We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come right back with Justillion right after this quick break.
The natural resources of the Bahamas play a critical role in supporting Bahamian livelihoods. For example, the fishing and tourism industry, which include fishermen, seafood exporters, hoteliers, dive operators, restaurants, and others, Collectively, they generate approximately $1.5 billion a year. Therefore, we must respect and preserve what we have. These resources belong to us.
This is my livelihood.
This is my livelihood.
This is my livelihood.
So let's all do our part to maintain our local economy and a good quality of life. Remember, if we take care of nature, nature will take care of us.
We're once again joined by Yonel Justullian, a national honoree in this year. He's also director of the Bahamas All-Star Band. We're asking before we went to the break, how do you feel about the honor?
Well, I think it's indeed an honor to be part of a distinguished group of Bahamians who's making a difference here in the Bahamas in the development of the country. And I feel honored to be part of that group.
Getting that call, what was your reaction?
My reaction was like, wow, someone's noticing the work that I do. And I thought that's very encouraging to me.
And you work basically with the youngsters in terms of getting musical talents. How has that been?
Well, I truly believe that the talents will make way for our kids when it comes to moving off to university. Once we discover the gifts of our kids and we develop those areas, once we focus on that, everything else will follow, their academics, their behavior, and everything else. If we follow that pattern, that's a pattern that will lead to success for our kids.
Looking at some of the pictures on the screen, you went to Dubai, you guys have traveled all over the world just spreading the good news. How has the reaction been from around the world when they see the band perform? Because I know when they perform here at home, it is a wow affair.
Well, generally the kids are well received around the world. When we talk about Ireland, the different parts of the U.S. in New York, Chicago, and also in Washington and Florida. I think once we expose our kids to show them that, hey, we are just as good or even better than, other countries in certain areas, that really build their self-esteem and just bring the confidence that they need to succeed in life.
How did this band get started?
Well, back in 2010, there was a special project that was being done by the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture to have a group of kids perform at a particular event in Florida. However, that didn't work out, but we did end up going on a trip. We did the performance at the home. I think it was Bethune-Cookman University homecoming.
Right there.
And from that performance, we said, let's try to keep this group together. And we restructured ourselves in 2011, and got a group of leaders, and the rest is history.
Are you still teaching?
Still teaching at Government High and part-time at UB as well.
So what's up next for you now?
Well, we're looking at moving. We're planning a trip to West Virginia next year. It's a world championship marching band event that we're preparing for.
Well, thanks a lot for joining us here on the Morning Edition. Congratulations and good luck in the future.
Thank you.
And as we head to the break, we take a look back now at today in Bahamian history. On July 26, 1972, the Grand Bahama Fire Station, a joint venture between the government and the Port Authority, was officially opened. Also on that same day in 1979, Prime Minister Lyndon Pinling officially opened the Bahamas Oil Refinery Company, BOCO, in Freeport, Grand Bahama.
Andros is the #1 bone fishing destination on our planet. Sports fishermen visit our flats every year to participate in one of the most fulfilling outdoor activities known to man, fly fishing. And guess what? It's 100% sustainable. Without areas like the west side of Andros, sustaining this industry would be absolutely impossible. So let's take care of nature, and nature will take care of us.
Ordinary People is back with a new season. Join us on the ZNS Network.
Anybody drugs the most? Not New York's bestsellers, the hood's bestseller.
I like that. Coming soon.
People are only going to say yes or no. And if they say no, keep on trying until you get a yes.
Ordinary People.
From the week's national headlines to the top stories to issues that affect you. Catch it all in one snapshot from the news leader. ZNS News Week in Review, Sundays at 4:30 p.m.
The Children's Emergency Hostel has been around since the early 70s, and this morning we speak with Arthur Peet, president of the board of directors since 1976.
We're open and functional. We're not at maximum, so we can take some improvement. Funding is not there. That's the challenge. We get some support from the government towards the welfare of the children, but the actual upkeep of the home is the responsibility of the board of directors. From Dorian and other issues, the downturn in the economy, the support has dried up substantially, and we are now trying to rebound.
Around 30 kids currently call the hostel home. So how has support been from the business public?
We're grateful. Some competition out there because there are a number of homes and other charities, and so we've got to earn our keep. And I think that's why you want to upgrade the home to make it more appealing, more regulated, and the maximum good for the children.
The hostel now joining forces with Janae's Uniform Center, appealing to the public to assist in outfitting these students for the upcoming academic year.
We wouldn't want clothes that should go to the dump. We would prefer new clothes. Actually, the kids are disadvantaged already, and so we don't want them to be seen as second class. They already have a disadvantage. And I think we want to upgrade that for their own dignity so they feel they're part of a home. And so we would like people to treat them as children. We're trying to raise our standard to make it a premier home because it was intended to be well managed. And it's been for quite some time.
And Pete, leaving this thought with you.
I would like to appeal to the public that these children are at the home through no fault of their own. They have been neglected. Some of their parents have gone off on drugs. Some have gone to prison. And so there are any number of reasons why they're there.
And now you'll see some numbers on the screen if you want to donate to the Children's Emergency Hostel. International wire transfer instructions, First Caribbean Bank, SWIFT code, Bahamas Children's Emergency Hostel, account 289011112, Shirley Street, Nassau, Bahamas. And they also have some other donations that they would like to Cable Bahamas, Bahamas Power and Light. If that can come up on the screen as well, or you can call here at the Broadcasting Corporation of Bahamas, and I'll be glad to give you those numbers that you can make sure and help those kids over at the Children's Emergency Hospital. Well, joining us now is Cheryl Joaquin. We're talking about Family Planning Week. Congratulations on a great week ahead. Welcome to the Morning Edition. What is, I see you watching the story just now and shaking your head with the Children's Emergency and a part of family. What is Family Planning Week?
Okay, so it's actually National Family Week. And this is the second annual occasion. The first was last year, was the inaugural occasion that was proclaimed by the then Prime Minister. And this week, July 25th through 31st, we will be having a number of activities celebrating families, the challenges that families are facing, and also the opportunities that we have to strengthen our family unit. The story just earlier about the Children's Emergency Hostel is really where I started in terms of building my passion for the need to strengthen families. Like the director has said, these children are not there by any fault of their own, and of all the persons in our community, in our society, these are the ones who are most vulnerable and at risk because their families have been pulled from up under them generally. And so we must give, extra help to these persons and to the organizations that support them. And so one of the things that National Family Week is launching is what we call the Bahamas Strong Families campaign. Bahamas Strong Families Forever campaign, because we want this to not only just be an event, we want this to be a crusade, a renaissance of recognizing the importance of families to society. And so we're really excited about the activities of this week and people partnering so that we can indeed strengthen families, which are the strongest units of our society.
What seems to be lacking with families nowadays, and the number one issue you really want to tackle?
Right. Definitely in terms of unity. Unity is a major issue, and it has really to do with a lot of the emotions that people are going through. We have been through really difficult times with Hurricane Dorian particularly, and with the COVID-19. And so when people are not feeling good, they're feeling less than happy, then unfortunately they do less than happy things. And so that is why we are working towards helping families to become happy. And happy for us is the acronym for harmonious, abundant, progressive, productive, yesable families. And each of those values have speaks to things that we can do to really help and strengthen the family through love, through light and truth, and through education and helping us to become where we need to be.
So a week of activities. Thank you so much for joining us here on the morning edition. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to go home today and kiss my family. I haven't kissed them in a long time. I don't think so.
Spend some time. Time is spelled. Love is spelled T-I-M-E.
Oh, they know I'm not that kind of person. But since you said it today, I'm going to try and just build up some courage and go home and do that. Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll give you the answer to the trivia question.
The picture your parents them over there watching you. You want gangbang?
It's back.
You're here because your parents decided to put you in here.
The groundbreaking reality series returns.
You never told me before? You raise your hand at me?
Do you know it's still time to get it together?
With never before seen footage.
Come punch me then. Send you to punch him, mommy. You punch me?
This ain't no playground. You can know before you leave today. If you leave, if they find some space, I can teach you all how to disrespect.
It's a whole new season.
Don't come here with your movie face.
And the answer to that trivia question, in what year was the Children's Emergency Hostel open? And the answer is 1962. And the winner this morning is Deanne Monk. She can pick up a gift certificate, all courtesy of Janae's Uniform Center, right here from the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. And all week we will be giving out gifts, all courtesy of Janae's Uniform Center, geared towards helping the Children's Emergency Hospital. Once again, those numbers you can call there if you want to show your help. Now, be sure to stay tuned into the ZNS Network for news as it happens, TV and radio updates throughout the day. Then you can tune into Live at 5 and the Northern Edition and the Bahamas tonight. That's going to put a wrap on the morning edition for Tuesday. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great and blessed day.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Food. It is as essential